This is the Milo Beasley Show. This is the Milo Beasley Show. There's only one thing you need to know. This is the Milo Beasley Show. And now, here's your host, Milo Beasley.
And welcome to the Milo Beasley Show, episode number 349. I'm so excited for this week's guest. We were finally able to make things work. Please help me welcome. He's toured with Alice Cooper, Kiss, Billy Idol, Zack Wylde, and more. Please help me welcome at this time, Derek Sherinian. How are you doing, sir?
Hey, Milo. Fine, thank you. How you doing, man?
Good, man. Did I get the name right?
Almost. Sherinian.
Sherinian. Oh man, that's an even better name. That name even sounds metal.
Nice. What's up, man?
Nothing. Just wanted to chat with you. Wanted to chat about your new album, your new record, VORTEX, that just came out a couple weeks ago. July 1st?
Have you heard it?
I have. Yes.
What do you think?
I mean, usually it's not my type. You know, I'm more into lyrics and stuff like that. So, but right. I was blown away, man. It's amazing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just, again, absolutely dug it. So what was the mindset behind this album? What was your, what inspired, these songs?
We, Simon and I got back together in 2020 after 9 years of a little hiatus, and we wrote The Phoenix, and we had such a great time doing that record that we just kept the same intensity and mindset for VORTEX. So nothing, specific. We just do what we do, and we have a great writing chemistry. And whenever we get together, we always come up with cool stuff. So here's the VORTEX, and we're very happy with the outcome.
Yeah, absolutely. How long did it take you from the time that the inception of starting writing till the time that you were able to complete it?
It was about a year.
Oh,
yeah, of writing, and because we get together in chunks of time, and we're all doing other things as well. So it took about a year from writing and getting it recorded, and then another 6 months later, then it gets released. So.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's where, when, this is what, your 7th album?
No, this is actually number 9 of my solo albums. Yeah, this is the 9th one.
That's so when people think of, oh, this is their 9th album, this is somebody's 9th album, this is probably just something that was thrown together just so they can, put something out. But a year is a long time to spend on a project like that.
Well, yeah, and considering then the one before this, the Phoenix, it was 9 years that we didn't work and do it. So there was a lot of stuff bottled up during those 9 years. So yeah, sometimes it's good to take a break and get a fresh perspective on things.
That's so cool. So how did you get into piano in the first place? Was this something that your parents were you're going to learn classical piano, like the old, stereotypical television parents, or was this something that you were interested in doing yourself?
Well, I mean, there was a piano in the house, and as soon as I was able to crawl on the bench, I would get up and start playing. And my mom recognized that there was a talent there, and so she found a teacher. And then I started studying classical, around 6 or 7 years old, something like that, and trained for 3-4 years, and then I quit playing music altogether and got into skateboarding and just got away from music lessons, just wanted to play with my friends and stuff. And then a couple of years later, I met another kid that was into guitar, and he was into Kiss and Aerosmith, and he turned me on to all these bands, and all of a sudden I was playing keyboards again, and that's how it started.
That's fantastic. And then you went from California all the way to the other side of the country for school, right?
I did. I was very young at the time too. I just finished my junior year of high school, and I went to Berkeley for a summer camp, or for a summer school. It was like a 9-week course or whatever. And at the end of it, I ended up getting a scholarship to go to Berkeley full time. But the thing was, I was only a junior in high school. So I had to go home, and I convinced my parents to take the GED test so I could leave high school a year early so I can attend Berkeley. And at the time I was 16 years old, moving away, from home for the first time. And I was the youngest student at Berkeley at that time.
That's insane.
Yeah, I just skipped a year. I mean, while most people, the senior year was the best year of my life with the graduation and the tassel, I could not give a shit about any of that. All I wanted to do was to be a great musician, and Berkeley was the ticket at that time for me. And there was no place on earth that was better for me to be at than Berkeley College of Music at that point in my life. And thankfully, my parents agreed and let me take that test and get it out early.
That's fantastic. And then did you try staying in the Boston area for a while, or did you move? Did you immediately move back home?
There was a bunch of us that joined at the same time. And then after 3 full semesters, we all felt like, all right, we got what we needed out of the school, and we felt ready to turn pro. I didn't need a degree. I had no intention of becoming a music teacher or anything like that. I knew in my heart that I had the skill set to go into Hollywood or New York and compete and do well. So that's what it was.
Awesome. And then, so how long after graduation or after you left school, and did you, get your first, either your first gig or your first big gig?
It was a 4-year period of hell, trying to get breaks and stuff. And then like right when I turned 23 is when I got the Alice Cooper gig. And that's when everything started to happen. So it was like a good 4 or 5 years of just brutal, rejection and trying to learn the business and while surviving and doing bullshit jobs and
Right.
all that stuff. So yeah.
That's fantastic. And like you said, your friend turned you on to a bunch of music. So playing with somebody like Alice Cooper for your first gig must have just been mind-blowing.
That was mind-blowing, but even more mind-blowing was Kiss, the next gig, because Kiss was one of the bands that my friend turned me on to, like,
right,
when I was young. So and then here I am, like, looking up at Gene and Paul in the rehearsal room, just going, wow, this is pretty cool.
That's great. And when you were working with Kiss, that was the Revenge tour, right?
That's right, 92.
That's amazing. And like, this is the 30th anniversary of the Revenge album and the Revenge tour as well. So I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, man, time is really blowing by fast. It really does.
I got to chat with Bruce Kulick a couple months ago, and he was just reminiscing about those times, and it just must have been surreal to be right there, working keyboards right off stage, watching. I mean, you have the best view of the concert, and you're
Absolutely.
Working.
Absolutely, I did have the best view, and it was just great learning from Gene and Paul, and watching how they ran a tour in such a close proximity. There's just a lot to learn, so it was a great experience. I'm honored. I'm honored to be part of history.
Yeah, I would imagine that. Yeah, you got to get a real firsthand experience of what it's like to be a part of that Kiss business.
Oh, for sure. It's amazing. I mean, those guys have been through it all, and they're very hands-on with their business, and you can just see how they handle stuff out there. Everything from the crew to promoters to fire marshals for the pyro. I mean, it goes right down. There's like a lot of moving parts, and
yeah, you don't think about that.
No, every day if you're doing pyro in a big band like that, every day the local fire marshal or someone from that office has to come down and inspect and make sure everything is to code. And, you know, you can't just go into a city and start blowing off fireworks inside of a, you know.
Was there anything that surprised you about, you know, the business aspect, or, you know, besides the pyro, you know, working with those, you know, the fire marshals? Was there anything else that surprised you that you were like, oh, I had no clue that it was done this way?
No, just it's just awesome watching how professional everything was ran. You know, it's really cool.
Do you kind of wish that you would have caught Kiss during the makeup years?
I mean, you know, Kiss, I respect Kiss. I think it's amazing. I think they're pioneers in rock and roll. But as far as one of my favorite bands growing up, so it wasn't like Van Halen or Aerosmith for me, you know.
Right, yeah. Had you worked with them during the makeup years, did you ever think about?
No.
But had you done it, have you ever thought about what your makeup? I know you were off stage, you know, but do you ever think about what your makeup would have been?
Well, yes, Eric Singer and I have discussed it, and I've always been called a shit stirrer with the golden ladle. So I would have a ladle across my face because I stir it up.
That's
the ladle man.
Man, that's the ladle man. This is how I'm going to advertise that you're on my show, the ladle man.
Okay.
While talking with Bruce, he actually gave me a guitar pick, because I have a guitar pick collection. So he gave me some guitar picks and a tin to put them in. Now, obviously, you're not out there trading guitar picks with anybody, but do you have any sort of collection of things that you've been able to trade other musicians over time? Whether it's no,
I don't have any of that stuff. I just make records.
That's fair enough. So do you have any sort of collections at all? Like, do you have any, you know, fanboy, you know, are you a Marvel, Star Trek, Star Wars type person?
The only thing I have resembling a collection are keyboard collections, but it isn't from a collector standpoint. I mean, these are actual things that I use to make records, or my tools of my trade, but it could fall under, you know, a lot of them are collectible, happen to be collectible pieces as well. So, but as far as collections, that's pretty much it.
That's a good way to not clutter up your house, I suppose. Well, I guess, you know, yeah, keyboards aren't the easiest thing to
well, no, I keep it. I have a studio, so all my music gear is in there. So I have no music stuff in my house.
Oh, that's, I mean, clutter free. Gosh, that's the life. And while also talking with Bruce a couple of weeks ago, it was in Vegas. So we talked about, you know, a hypothetical Vegas residence. So let's say that you had a Vegas residence. What would, if you could, you know, bring some musicians out there with you for a residence, what would your dream group, your dream super group be for a Vegas residency?
Do they have to be alive?
I think yes. So it was, if they were to call you right now.
Oh, yeah. I would love to do like Steven Tyler, Jeff Beck, Simon Phillips, on bass, Tony Franklin, you know, be great.
I mean, would you do a Vegas residency? I know a lot of people are like, you know, that's not me, but would you?
Hey, you know what? If I had enough fans that would pay to see me multiple nights in the same venue in a row, I would love it. It would be fantastic. So I'm envious of these artists that are able to do that. So I think it's great.
Let's go back to Alice Cooper for a little bit. You got to play poker with him. Did you ever get to play golf with him?
No, I wasn't a golfer, but I played many many long poker bouts with him. There's been a lot of money exchanged between us. And my favorite story with Alice is we were traveling on the bullet train from Tokyo to Osaka. It's like a 2-hour drive or whatever. And so we have our little section on the bullet train. We're playing cards, and I ended up getting 4 twos, 4 of a kind. And I ended up winning like a $300-400 pot. I forgot what it was, but that was 30 years ago. So that was, sizable. It was everyone's per diem at the time. And I remember laying down the 4 twos, and I jumped up screaming on the conservative bullet train, and everyone's looking at me, and Alice was just smiling and just shaking his head because he knew it was such a great hand.
That's fantastic. Who do you think has won more money between the two of you? If you were,
it depends who you ask. I'll say me, and he'll say it's him.
Did you ever obviously he goes on stage with snakes and stuff. How are your feelings on snakes? Have you ever been stuck in a room with one of his snakes?
No, I used to see the snakes all the time. They were always very cool. I mean, I wouldn't pet them, or I didn't touch them or anything, but they seemed to. I always wondered what that snake was feeling in front of all those people and the lights, if it scared them or, I was always concerned a little bit for the snake.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's again, you're bringing up things that I don't think I've ever thought about.
No, I mean, imagine if you were that snake and you're brought up on stage and people are screaming. All of a sudden, there's these flashing lights you're not used to seeing, and it has to be. I wonder. Yeah,
that's a great question. I wonder if they've ever done studies on anything like that. But obviously, I guess PETA didn't really get a chance to shut him down. So
we shouldn't let's not give him any ideas. I like Alice, and I don't want him to have any trouble.
It's true. I love Alice. I think he's fantastic. And just a hell of a performer. And to be able to keep going is incredible.
Got to give him credit.
Absolutely. And then you've also, you got to work with Dream Theater as well.
Yes. 90, what was it? 94 to 99. Good 4 years. I did one live album and an EP. Great experience. It exposed me to a new genre, progressive rock. I had never played in a band like that before. And I'll tell you, my musicianship in those 3 or 4 years went from, up tremendously. I mean, it's insane. If you listen to me when I first joined that band towards the end, big difference. And even now, between now and then, I listen to recordings of myself, even a few years ago, and I always see the growth in my playing. That's been the key to my longevity, is I'm always getting better, and you can hear it on every album.
Is there a performer or a group like Dream Theater that you feel taught you the most about being a performer?
Not so much being a performer. I mean, that first tour with Alice Cooper was the first time I was ever on a world-class tour and playing, arenas and large, Euro festivals and, big shows. So that, helped as a performer, but Dream Theater definitely helped me expand my skill set as far as being a player. So that was definitely an important stage in my career.
I couldn't imagine. I have zero musical talent. So, when I get a chance to talk to somebody like you, I am 1,000% envious. When you're creating a new album, when you're writing, what do you hear first? Do you hear the keyboard first? Do you hear maybe a guitar riff that you're like, oh, I want to add something to that? Is there a process to your writing?
There's many different ways for inspiration. It either starts with me playing, or someone else will play something that sparks something in me, or any of the above.
I find that whole process super fascinating, and jealous of just being able to go in there and be like, oh, hey, I heard this thing, let me just add to it. I couldn't imagine what it would be like. So one thing I do want to talk about is, so I have a picture that's always on my shows of Jeff Goldblum here. Now he does he does jazz in LA. Have you ever been able to go and experience the Jeff Goldblum experience in his jazz club? Uh-oh. No, oh, he's muted.
My bad.
No
No, I
problem.
haven't seen Jeff Goldblum.
No, have you?
No.
Have you ever wondered what, because again, your style, I don't even know if you have a style of music because it's so eclectic.
I don't know, but honestly, bro, if I was going to go see jazz, I wouldn't go see some actor go and try to express himself playing music. I'd go see like a real jazz musician if I'm actually going to leave my house and go see live music.
Who on the jazz front, who would you go and see?
I'd go see Herbie Hancock. I'd go see, there's a bunch of guys that are out there that are really great players. There's a player that I really like right now named Tigran Hamasyan, who's playing some really amazing piano stuff. And so if you haven't heard of him, check him out.
I haven't. I'm gonna write that down immediately. Yeah. So
Tigran Hamasyan.
I'm gonna check that like as soon as we get done. I'm gonna butcher the name on the spelling it, but I'll figure Google will help me figure it out. I have to know what's your beef with Christmas albums?
Oh, there's no beef. I just think it's so, it's just cheesy. I just think whenever you see artists do it, it's just like, I don't know. I think it's corny.
So you would
done.
So you would never. Done. What would have to be done in order for you, Derek, to do a Christmas album?
I don't know. I actually did one a few years ago with Billy Idol, which I thought was a cool one because he sounds like Elvis, and it reminds me of the Elvis Christmas albums. And I think those are cool. But I just hear some of the other bands do it and like metal versions of the stuff. It's like I don't know. I don't need it.
I'm going to do a thing that we like to do here on the Milo Beasley Show, and it's called the Milo Beasley Show Frequently Asked Questions. I'm going to ask you the same 5 questions I asked all my guests. They're pretty relatively easy, so should be no wrong answers, just first thing that comes to your mind. I'm super interested in your answer for this first question. So question number 1, what was the first concert you attended?
Van Halen, 1980, Oakland Coliseum.
Oh.
And the opening band was Talus, Billy Sheehan on bass.
That's fantastic. How do you go to another concert? Because there's no way your second concert was going to be better than your first, right?
No, that was just amazing.
I couldn't imagine. Van Halen in 1980.
Great.
Man. Question number 2. Do you believe in ghosts?
I do. I do. I don't think about it a lot, but I think they're there.
Have you ever had any weird experiences where you're like,
no, but I believe that. I think that it's a strong possibility.
Yeah, I think I feel the same way. Like I feel like something's gotta be there.
Same thing with extraterrestrials too.
I feel like the universe is too big for there not to be something, right?
I think the same thing. Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Yeah. Question number 3, and a little twist on a popular question. In a movie about your life, who would play your parents?
God, I don't know.
No, nobody comes to mind. Like, oh, that's just like my dad.
I can't. I have no clue.
All right. Question number 4. Who's your favorite person to follow on social media?
Ooh. I really don't have a favorite. I just follow like my friends. Like there's a group of friends that I follow, and that's it. But there's no like celebrity or anything in particular that I'm following.
I've had a lot of people say that they just follow animals and pets.
I have followed. Yes. Oh, okay. I take that back. There's even though I have my own cat, there's this cat on Instagram named Lewis, the Cornish Rex, and he's a Cornish Rex cat. And I just love this cat's face. And so every day they post a picture, and the cat is always wearing like a bow tie or some hat and these big ears, and it just puts a smile on my face. So Lewis the Cornish Rex on Instagram is my favorite.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I've had so many people that are like, yeah, I don't care about people. I just follow animals. Yep.
And then I follow like subjects too, like Norway. I think Norway is so beautiful. Like every picture you see of it, the aurora borealis, the fjords. And so for like 6 months, I was following all things Norway. So I get all these pictures, and then I got burned out on it, and then I moved on to something else.
Is that the dream vacation for you, is Norway, or is there
no, I've been there several times. I love it. I think it's beautiful. If I'm going to go on vacation, I want to go where it's warm and tropical. Yeah, I don't want to see any snow.
Well, I mean, where do you go for warm and tropical? I mean, you live in LA.
No, but you go, I mean, like on an island somewhere nice. Like I've never been to Bali or Fiji or Tahiti. It's one of the Polynesian islands. Would be cool to go check that out. It's a long flight, but it's something I'd like to do.
But worth it. All right, and then question number 5. Interested to know this one. Has there been a fanboy moment where you saw somebody, you met somebody, and you just weren't able to come up with words to speak to them?
No, but I remember one time early on, I think it was the first year Yngwie was famous. It may have been like 85 or 86. And I was at the NAMM show. No, he's actually was already famous for a couple of years, but I was at the NAMM show and I saw Yngwie, and I remember just getting really excited and going up and asking him for his autograph.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty exciting. And then I got to play with him, years later for, many years. But that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Did he remember that at all, or did you bring it up?
No, I mean, I'm sure he'd have a million kids coming up to him,
This is true. This is true. Before we go, I just have to ask your opinion, since you are a keyboardist, a pianist, your opinion on Keytars.
I'm not a fan, but you know what? To each their own. Have fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of. I think I am a fan of watching somebody get down on a keytar on stage.
God bless you. Have fun.
Before we wrap up, where can folks find you on social media?
I'm on Twitter, at Derek Sherinian. I'm at Instagram at Derek Sherinian Official, and then on my main website, DerekSherinian.com.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's how I found you on your website. So much on the website, man. But and again, we want to talk about VORTEX. It just came out July 1st. Can be found everywhere where music is sold.
Yeah, you just look it up on Amazon, InsideOut.com. You should be able to find it pretty much anywhere. It's a great album. Simon Phillips, Tony Franklin, Michael Schenker, Zack Wylde, Nino Betancourt, Joe Bonamassa, Steve Lukather, Mike Stern, the best of the best musicians on every instrument. The album is top quality from beginning to end, from the compositions to the players to the production. It's a must-have in any true music lovers collection. Check it out. There's plenty of samples on YouTube. You can hear it before you buy it, but once you hear it, it's awesome. And then you're going to want to get it in the high fidelity so you can really enjoy it in its full,
100%. I've actually found that it's nice to run to, because I run a lot, so it's just nice to have that. That, I mean, the tempo on some of those is ridiculous, and you got me beat on some of those where I was just like, just wasn't able to go anymore. But yeah, so amazing. So now that you've put out VORTEX, what is the are you planning on touring on it, or do you immediately start on another
We're going to
album?
be
Do you
playing,
just rest?
we're going to be playing a couple of select shows to promote VORTEX, but mainly my focus is going to be on my next solo record, and I've already started writing. It's going to be all piano, and so it's going to require a lot of, different kinds of practice for me, and to get my piano skills up, and to write some really great songs. So that's what I'm working on right now.
That's awesome, and best of luck to you. And I'm super excited for that. And that'll be album number 10. So that's a big deal.
And that should come out next year, like about a year from now, a little more than a year from now.
Fantastic. Again, Derek gave it his socials. Go ahead and check him out. Follow that progression, and check out where he will be playing those select tours. Derek, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I'm glad we were able to get past some of these issues.
Thank you, Milo. Take care of yourself and have a great day. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody else, for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.